Welcome back to you yummy bowl of bananas and, of course, blueberries. We're going to look at the 4-year cycle and what coins we should be buying because we are still following the 4-year cycle, even though there is an inverted yield curve, even though the stonk market might actually send us down to Doomtown. I mean, it's very, very strong right now. You see, friends, at the end of the day, we have to put our feelings aside. We have to look at the information right now. And information says, oh my gosh, the 4-year cycle is still playing out. Look at this chart, man. How do you fluke this chart, friends? You can't fluke this chart. I mean, going in right now. Now, firstly, this is Mr. Woofy, my friend Mr. Woofy. Look at the big fat red candle. We are exactly where we should be. I just think it's fascinating, all right, that we had the bottom when we should have, the double bottom when we should have, then we had the rise out, then we had the Bitcoin spot ETF, or in the previous cycle, this light blue, that is the 2016, that's the Bitcoin halvening run. And you see this little zip down area? That's the Bitcoin halvening dump. I mean, it's going to be weird if we dump around our Bitcoin halvening like that. It's like so strange, man. So look, that's where we are right now. And even though we're going to remain skeptical from, as to where we finish, we're not going to let that change whether or not we should be buying altcoins. Now, super skeptical, but now it's working like clockwork. Back to 30K-ish, Bitcoin maybe we don't go there. I don't really care about that. I'm just telling you, this is like the last type of rocket launch pad you might get until the Bitcoin halvening. Then there's going to be another dump, more hope and disbelief rinsing, but basically we're running out of time. We're going to find that throughout 2024, it's like 2023, except, the hope and disbelief rinsing of 2023, when our hopes got crushed to disbelief, it took a long time to kind of weed out before we finally got confidence again. In this year, it's going to be the same, but it's going to be faster. The dips are going to be aggressive from higher points, but you're going to find they're not going to have these periods where they die and they take like 4 weeks to kind of like get everybody out of this massive FUD. We're going to find that they go on higher lows and you don't feel as bad. You know why? Because your portfolio is moving up in steps. So if your portfolio, let's say your portfolio was at $100,000 back down to 10, last year it was going from 10 to 15 to 10 to 20 to 12 up to 17, like that, okay? But this year, it's more like your portfolio is at 20,000, it's going to go to like 30 back to 25, and we still have the PTSD, and then we think, oh, it's going to go back down again. No, and then like in the next lick, it goes to like 40, and then back down to 30. So for all of us who got in early, it's going to be a grand old time. Okay, let's continue. Now, important, there are many altcoins you can buy. I mean, a freaking insane amount, friends. If you go to DexScreener, if you look at the left-hand side, you'll see there's an enormous amount of chains. There are heaps. But you can't deny something. So Ethereum has most of the money. Ethereum is where most of the money is. It's just that Ethereum hasn't had its time to shine yet. Because the Bitcoin halvening here, the Bitcoin halvening and the Bitcoin dominance, we're still waiting for them to flip. The Bitcoin halvening, we want that action to come because that's what we're really waiting for. Bitcoin halvening crash right on it or just before it. That's basically the super final one. It's just problematic. You know why? Because the Fed's close to cutting rates. And altcoins had their bull market cut off early in 2021. So it's just risky to me if I was to sit in sidelines with stable coins, not respecting that. If you were to sit on sidelines with your stable coins, you're basically hoping that all the altcoins drop from here. But you might be in for a rude awakening. We might find that altcoins start moving up as Bitcoin starts moving down, just because they have so far to catch up. So this is where really the believers get rewarded. So this Bitcoin halvening hasn't flipped. And also, I want to look at the Ethereum chart because ETH BTC too, friends. ETH BTC, you see, it was so close to flipping green, but it's not. ETH BTC, this basically just still means that we're just chilling out. There's nothing for us to do in terms of like, selling or anything. It basically is also informing us that things are still very undervalued. And there's a lot of altcoins to go through, man. Like, I know what you want to do. It's basically, you and I, we want to be told, all right, what's the next season coming? Let me go buy those coins that go up like 30x. No one knows. I'll tell you what everyone thinks they know. They think everyone's going to make a lot of money in airdrops. Probably going to be wrong. They think everybody's going to make a lot of money in like these new layer 2 chains. Here's the problem. There's like 15 of them launching. Which ones are going to be? So they're all in competition with Ethereum. Okay, that's why it just makes things a lot harder. But you can't deny, for example, PulseChain, PLS, still cheap. Look at this. We had the first jump up on the green weekly super trend, and now this is this tiny pullback. There could still be another one. You see this very light colored gray dot here. These are the 21 EMAs. We might find it comes back down, zips around, and then goes up. Just guessing, but basically time is running out. And if time is running out, you want to make sure you've got your lottery tickets packed. Because if they're going to follow the spear, it's going to be an insane move that's just going to whip everything up off the floor. This is a Tropa. Okay, friends, I just have this watch list where I look at everything. A Tropa is still dirt cheap. This is what I like. I love seeing this, friends. I know a lot of people sometimes are out there thinking, oh, man, can this thing move? Okay. Yeah, it could, but at the end of the day, don't you want something on the floor? Some of you guys, of course, you're DCing your salary, your wage. This is insane, by the way. Like, even $100. Let's say you have a wage. Some of you guys making $1,000 a week. You're like, hey, I've got like $100. Yeah, you know your $100, friends. This is personally what I would be doing. I'd be throwing it into like 3 lottery tickets a week. 3. Because your upside's 100x. So all you need is like a 10x on your pulse. You rotate into the pulse, and then hopefully pulse gives you the 10x after that. Now, 100x is big, divided by 3. 30x is still good. Think about that. You're putting in $100. That's a $3,000 payment in the future. That's why as long as these prices are cheap, it's amazing, isn't it? You're just throwing $30, $30, $30 here and there. And imagine you get that 30x, man. That's huge on each one. That's how you got to think this mindset in the future. Every $100 you outlay into lottery tickets, remember you're trying to look for like recently intelligent or decently intelligent type of leverage plays on the spear coin moving. It's big, man. 30x. That's just think about it. Every week in the future, you're going to get $3,000 coming back. Where else can you get that? You can't. But it's very time sensitive. It's just that the longer you wait, you don't get your 30x. Right? It drops down to 15x as soon as the first double happens, and then it becomes like a 7x in the double after that, which is still better than nothing, but it's not as exciting. And there are heaps of coins, friends. I've just made a watch list. I like really encourage you to do the same thing as well. You can go to MultiCharts on DexScreener here. You click on MultiCharts and you'll be able to put in like 16 charts. And all I do is I just look at everything. And the annoying part is though, they all default to USD pricing. So you have to click on each one manually to see the pulse pricing. So this is for Piteas, for example. I still like it. It's still very low. Don't care if it goes even lower from here. Just keep buying. There are heaps of others you can look at as well in the ecosystem. I've looked at other layer 2 chains too. Not impressed. I'm just going to show you, right? I'm going to have to tell you. I'm just going to show you. For example, I'm going to click on Optimism, okay? Optimism, let's have a look. Optimism here. So on a layer 2 chains, if you go in, I sorted by volume. Look at like the highest meme coins. Look what they're doing, friends. One of these is called Tux. So I just clicked on, and in the bottom right, sometimes I'll tell you what it is. Magical Tux is a meme token based on the Optimism CEO's cat. That's like the new meta people are trying to do, where they're like, hey, what's the founder? Okay, does he have any pets? Okay, let's name our meme coin after the pet. And they all have this chart. They all try to be new and fresh, but really what ends up happening is they just end up being Poopy McPooptown. And what happens? It's always the same thing, man. It's always this pump and dump. I don't like the thought of living in this world where you have to go through freaking, look at all these chains, friends. All these chains. And you do run a risk. The problem is, if the ecosystem you're in, if it doesn't move in the next 90 days, your coin becomes old most of the time. Because people, when the season comes, they launch new stuff. And it overrides everything a lot. And there's constantly new coins being launched. So that's why it helps to be part of a community that is, at least strong Twitter, YouTube presence. That's why, to me, in the PulseChain ecosystem, it's so easy to be long these coins. I mean, there's literally an enormous amount of Twitter tags, YouTube presence on all of them. You have Teddy Bears, part of the same ecosystem. You have the Tangang. We have Paw Pleb, 9-inch going down. This is P-Link. Okay, just playing around with P-Link fans. Just be careful. These are like, now you're going dirt land, okay? This is the di-isotroper ratio, so that's a specific ratio. I've got the penis wrapped Bitcoin here. So penis wrapped Bitcoin, PWBTC, it is in the zone of buying as well. I mean, like, yeah, 6, 7x. What's going to make it go up there? Don't think too long and hard about it, friends. I know you like a long and hard family-friendly show. Just, this is Bitcoin halving year. I know. Trust me. I can see it too. I can see the yield curve. I can see complacency rally. I can see a big crash coming. I can see all the insiders buying the bonds. I can see all of it, friends. I can see grad scale dumping. Just telling you right now, the 4-year cycle is just still playing out. Despite all of those things, it's still playing out. This is really a test of your emotions. And it's just, how do you tell people who are coming from traditional finance world to go, look, I understand there's 40,000 reasons for us to crash literally today. We should be crashing, okay? But I'm going to ignore you and go long on the riskiest leverage, lottery ticket, altcoin ecosystems, assets in the world. Crypto risk squared. You're going up beyond Bitcoin, beyond Ethereum, into PulseChain. I know, I completely understand how ludicrous it sounds, but because it sounds so ludicrous and ridiculous, okay, sweet, there's everybody outside the club. You got to think about what happens if these go up. Everybody wants to come and join the club. That's the next leg. I'm also looking at Piteas, friends, but Piteas, see, this is a good example. So Piteas, that's the DEX, the exchange we use. So this is it right here, app.Piteas, friends. And Piteas is what I use instead of PulseX, because PulseX itself, now remember, Piteas is an aggregator. It looks at every single exchange trying to find you the best price. It's fast, the logos load fast, and you don't have any of these errors. So if you're looking for swaps, especially with the meme coins, because there's a Uniswap V3 fork on PulseChain called 9mm, so 9mm, okay? That's exactly what you're packing. Now your little 9mm does quite pack a big punch, because the liquidity it allows you to do, you can set it in different ranges and you can like basically concentrate it, and that you give yourself limit orders. So when you're hunting for prices, make sure you're using Piteas. Piteas will grab the best price from everyone on the chain, and it's going to give you at least, you're going to see enormous amount of slippage difference compared to the meme coins sometimes. Also thought I'd mention it as well, so friends, there is still the drift token thing going out. You can still see it's slowing down, right? If you want to participate, use code SOMMI down here for plus 5% more tokens. When it comes to this, you can see, right, the funding has slowed down huge, all right? Now the funding, this is interesting. I'm going to keep telling you this. Don't make this mistake, okay, friends? This is the time to start throwing in stuff everywhere when no one's looking, when no one believes. No one can even conceptualize that everything in crypto goes up. No one. And all these people on the sidelines, all right? I wish, in 2020, I wish I ventured out into altcoins as soon as January 2020 hit. Jan 2020. Instead, what I did was I thought, oh, well, I was in Ethereum. That was my altcoin. My altcoin, my biggest altcoin was Ethereum. All I had was ventured out of Bitcoin, researching Ethereum. And when did I find out about DeFi season and everything, friends? I found out July 2020, which is literally 1 month before the final top of everything. So I was buying stuff on the way down, 70% discounts, and they all went 95%, a lot of them, okay? So you got to be really sensitive to what I'm saying. In this Bitcoin halving year, you can't mid-curve yourself. The thing that makes no sense at all is the thing to do. The people who overthink this stuff, you end up making it, okay? Because what you're using is using your logical brain. You're going off 2022 and 2023. And you're saying, well, there's a trend here and there's a bear market and there's skepticism. Yeah, throw that all out. I don't know why Bitcoin halving year, like every single thing that's been happening has been showing us that, the 4-year cycle is still repeating, which means the frenzy is going to come. Now, we might not get the exact prices we want in Bitcoin, but in terms of the crowd and their emotions and their need for the greed, that's what's appearing again. So that's why you're going to find me doing things like ICOs everywhere. I'll be telling you stuff I'm doing here and there. You never fall in love with anyone. It's 5 isn't enough, okay? Not even 5. You need to be doing 10, 20, 30. You have no idea how ridiculous it's going to get later on. The prices are going to get really, really high. But most importantly, the earlier you start, we gain like experience. We get to see, this is a good project. This one's cheap. What's his valuation? All right, because people telling us this, you never really know, friends. You can't trust other people because there are going to be people telling you something at a 38 million valuation is cheap because the other thing is 500 million. But what you don't know is these guys were long from 3 million. So they're on side 12x already. And they're telling you it's going to go like another 20x. You need this. You can't be like gathering this information when it's too late because you can't act. But now you can. So that DEX aggregator coin, right? Piteas, they have an aggregator of the coin here. And it's already popped up. So I don't really want to touch it. I would rather, remember, this is even on the USD pricing. If you check for the Pulse pricing, you can see that it's just, this is accidentally invert. You can see that it's just, I don't like buying these. If you want to buy it, maybe go down. Honestly, I don't even know what the coin's used for. I have no idea. But just, do people care? This is the game. You've also got Fame, which is a GMX fork. Now, people were looking at the USD pricing before, but you can see the Pulse pricing, it's still low. But I mean, from here back to the top, you get like a 2x on your Pulse. You probably want more. Oh my God, Richard's only brother is doing these fantastic green candles. I don't know what's going on here, friends. Now, Richard's only brother, funny, because the coin price unit is big, because there's Richard Hart's only got one brother. Don't forget that, right? Wink, wink. What you can do is look at the top. You see the top row here, friends. See price market cap. If you press on it, you can switch the pricing to market cap. And then you can actually see, oh, okay, look, this is only 250K market cap. And you're thinking, oh, wow, where's 1 million? Where's 10 million? Now, what I'm doing is I'm trading like a low IQ peanut brain there. I'm thinking like a low IQ peanut brain. You see this? This is what people start doing in the bull market, okay? They just start scrunching up the charts. They draw these big lines and don't doubt the power. Literally don't doubt the power. Friends, there's literally, I'm telling you, once the greed comes in, people will say, give me everything under a 10 million market cap. Everything. I promise you. That's what happened. That's what literally happened. Do you know back at the top of 2021, you couldn't find a single freaking coin under 10 million market cap? Nothing. 10 million market cap was like, now it's too late. Now, instead of everybody, when everyone started getting frustrated, they started buying up like 50 million market cap coins, trying to dream of $500 million because Doge hit 80 billion. So Doge hit 80 billion. SHIB was like 40 billion. So people buying 50 million, they thought they were getting a good deal, thinking like, oh, well, sweet, we can go from 50 million, we can go to $1 billion because Doge went to 80 times that, you know? So, but that's the top. That's the top thinking. Do you see these? Anything less than $1 million market cap is basically, I'm not going to say free money, friends, but just if crypto keeps going up, I'm telling you right now, people come in, they just care about market caps. That's all they want. They want cheap, dirty market caps, and these things freaking fly. There's also this Blast coin, friends. Now, Blast coin, okay, I think Mr. B Roots and Ian are in. I saw them promoting it and stuff. Now, when it comes to this, I think I got told about it like here. I think it did like a 3x from here. But this is why I'm just, when you see these charts here, put on a log chart, see, these charts get painted nice and it hides what's going on here. You see this distance up here, it's down 62%. So this chart looks good, but this is irrelevant. These log charts are irrelevant. Why? Because no one is long from here, basically. This is everyone's real chart. That's everyone's experience mostly, okay? If you're not in early anymore. So what I would normally do is you can put on a SuperTrend and a little moving average, and you can see, right, this is a 4-hour. What I'll do is I'll maybe go to a 3-day. If the 3-day might even be too much, you see, it hasn't even printed that much. So you keep going down, down, down. You might even put it on like a 4-hour. You might just have to use a 4-hour. So when it comes to these coins, because they're moving super fast, you can't be using weekly time frames or even 3-day ones for these very, very new ones. The most you'll be able to do is like a 4-hour chart. And this is a 4-hour candle chart. And if you really believed in it and it flipped back on this super trend green and you believe like there's a narrative and stuff, this is your chance to get in. Until then, you're basically just watching it. go down. So now it's down 62% from the high. If it hit 80%, you got to think, okay, is there value there? Is there a community there? So all I'm doing is just helping you get a picture of like, all right, you see something, it's on a dip, you know it's going to keep dipping. How are people going to participate in these? And can you get a good cheap price somewhere? That's all I'm just showing you to do. But I'll be watching these on the watch list anyway. So that's why I don't like playing around with this 4-hour stuff, man. Because you know me, friends, like compare that 4-hour chart. If we go back to a troper, all right, a troper on a weekly and pricing it in Piteas. This is what I love, man. This is a weekly chart, friends. Weekly, man. It's like just so low for so long. This is what we want to see. This is what I like to see. Because even a 2x, look, a 2x from here still puts it around here. It's still in the buy zone. This thing can go a freaking 3x and it's still in the buy zone. You're not going to find that in many, many places, but it's because people don't believe. That's why. Because when things are dead, it's not exciting. And you're just praying that things pop off in the future. So you've learned a lot today, friends. Gone through a lot of coins. I'm going to keep going a lot through them more. All these lottery tickets. There's things on Ethereum side, heaps of others. As we find them, I'm slowly going to pick them up. I guess we'll see how it plays out. Like, subscribe, button. I'll catch you soon.